The holiday season is upon us, and if you don't believe me, look at my sweater. There's nothing more convincing, right? But with the holiday season upon us, we need to know how to host. So I'm sharing decorating hacks that are guaranteed to impress your guests. Before we get into today's video though, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And I do want to say a huge thanks to Wayfair for sponsoring today's video, but I'll tell you more about them and my new show, Interior Motives, a little bit later on. Let's get into today's video. So all the tips I'm going to share in today's video are great for any holiday. So no matter what you celebrate, these tips will work for you. The first decorating hack I want to share is to use wreaths in non-traditional ways. So what does that mean? So you can use a wreath for Thanksgiving, for Halloween, for Christmas, for any holiday that you celebrate, right? And traditionally we would put them on a front door. And I'm not saying don't do that. You should definitely do that too. But you can also scatter wreaths throughout your home. You can use them on your bookshelves, on your console tables, on top of mirrors. And a fun place I actually like to use wreaths is on my refrigerator, right? So it's such a weird place to put a wreath, but you want to add decor in unexpected places. The refrigerator is so boring, but if you put a wreath on there, it's really nice and cute. And you can attach that wreath just using a ribbon and hanging it on the inside of your fridge. That's the same thing that you would kind of do for a mirror, but it's a great way to spruce up the home without it looking like, again, a holiday threw up in your space. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because you guys know me, I completely go all out for Christmas and there's no stopping me. But if you want to have a little bit more of a refined space, this is how you're going to do it. So incorporate wreaths in non-traditional ways. Another way I like to do this is actually to use wreaths as chandeliers, right? So you take your wreath and you get some chain or some fishing wire and you just suspend it from the ceiling using a hook. This way you have a cool wreath, but you also have a fun fixture in the air, right? You're carrying your design style upward, but you're doing so with a wreath. You can always add battery operated lights or some battery operated candles to that wreath to make it come to life, right? So it's like a chandelier and a wreath in one, and there is nothing better than that. Now this next decorating hack is one you've heard before because I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. What you need to start doing is relying heavily on those holiday colors and textures and less so on those things that are like, it's Thanksgiving, live, laugh, love turkey. I don't think anyone has ever said live, laugh, love turkey, but maybe, who knows, right? Not to say that the things aren't endearing and cute. I think that they're great, especially when you have kids or whatever your favorite holiday is. I think you should do something kind of cheesy for that. But otherwise, we want it to look tasteful and we don't want it to disrupt our normal decor too much. So the way we do that is we rely more heavily on colors and textures. If you actually want to learn how to do this and how to really host a holiday, especially for the very first time, you need to check out the newest episode of Interior Motives. If you don't know what Interior Motives is, it is my new show over on the Wayfair YouTube channel. And you don't know who Wayfair is, you're going to be so happy because Wayfair is a phenomenal company that sells the best furniture. If you're ever in the market for literally any type of furniture, Wayfair has you covered. But they also have a YouTube channel where they have incredible shows, and Interior Motives is one of their new ones. In the most recent episode of Interior Motives, we're talking about hosting your first family holiday, and we're doing all of that for under $500. I give you all of the tips and tricks on how to impress all of your guests. I'm talking mom, dad, that long lost cousin that always shows up to Thanksgiving but you don't see any other time. I'm showing you how to impress all of those people while staying under budget and really doing so in a very tasteful way. So if that's something you really want to learn how to do, you need to check out this most recent episode of Interior Motives. Now, Interior Motives isn't the only show on the Wayfair YouTube channel. They have other phenomenal series like The Small Stuff and A Style is Born. If you want to check out any of these series and watch the full season of Interior Motives, you need to head over to the Wayfair YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm going to leave a link down in the description box, and I promise you, you're not going to regret checking out. You are going to love all of their phenomenal shows. Now let's talk about the next decorating hack. So again, these decorating hacks are all about making subtle changes. Another decorating hack I like to use is to swap out my artwork. So this one is a little bit more labor intensive and you have to have like an arsenal of artwork. But I feel like a lot of us, we have lots of different pillowcases and blankets and rugs, so why not artwork as well? But this is one you can definitely skip out on if you're not as, design obsessed as I am. But what I like to do is I like to swap the placement of my art in my home. So my more landscape pieces and the pieces that have more appropriate colors for the season, I'll bring those out to the living room when I'm hosting for the holidays and put the other ones in the bedrooms. So you're not necessarily buying new art, you're just kind of moving it about in your own home. The reason I do this is I want the relevant colors to be in the relevant spaces. So for example, I have a lot of tan artwork in the living room right now. And I have that because we're about to celebrate Thanksgiving. And so those earth tones are really paramount to Thanksgiving. I'm also incorporating, the colors via this tree, but I digress. But I brought all of those out here and I put the more vibrant colors in the bedroom. Now, when it comes to Christmas time or the winter time, I'm going to bring out more of the artwork that has the stark white in it and the blues and the greens, because that will make more sense with my Christmas trees and the other decor I have there. So swapping your art about in your own home is really, really valuable. Now, if you don't want to swap your art out, something else you can do is just buy, landscapes and less abstract art. So artwork that kind of shows some scenery, right? Because it connects you to the outdoors. And I think connecting to the outdoors is really important, especially for Thanksgiving and these fall holidays, right? Because we want to be as connected to nature as possible. So this is a little hack you can do if your home is full of artwork and it's really easy for you to move those pieces around. The next decorating hack has to do with those decorative bowls I know you have all around the house. I'm talking about those pedestal bowls, the bowls you keep buying, because all of our stores, they just sell all these great bowls and I'm always coming home with all of them. So the ones you have on your consoles, your bookshelves, even your kitchen island. I want you to start filling those bowls with holiday specific items. So when it comes to Thanksgiving and the fall holidays, maybe chestnuts or walnuts or pampas, you want to add organic things. And Thanksgiving honestly makes it a little bit easier because you can just do things that are outside. So even moss would work. Even though it's green, maybe a Spanish moss would be better because it's brown. Things that do have that organic feel, you can put those in those bowls. When it comes to Christmas and other winter holidays, you could add ornaments. You could add little bells. Again, things that you might put on your Christmas tree, you can put in those bowls. Again, this is a really nice and subtle way to add a pop of that holiday on your surfaces. It is really toned down, right? And you're not really adding anything to the surface. You're not cluttering up the surface more because of the holiday, and that's something I never want you to do. You're just adding to it because that bowl's empty anyway. You might as well put something holiday specific in it. Now, this next tip is something you only have to do once, so it's gonna make it super easy. The next decorating hack is, instead of putting all different types of lights around your home for the holidays, I want you to start using light bulbs that are adjustable in terms of color. So I talk about smart light bulbs all the time, but they're very, 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 very important when it comes to the holiday season, because you can change the color of those light bulbs just from your phone. You don't spend hours upon hours putting up the holiday lights hoping that they will actually connect once they're up there, or that some of the lights aren't actually out. I mean, that's everyone's nightmare, right? So you can actually have that ambiance from the lighting, all thanks to the smart light bulbs. Now, this is something I want you to do for all holidays, right? So for a Thanksgiving or something like that, you might have the orange or the burgundy, but for Christmas, you'll have the blues and the greens and the reds, right? You can do this for all of the holidays. This is something you can do even if it's not a holiday, but this is a great way, again, to have some holiday spirit without all of the trouble. And this is only something you have to do once, and you don't have to do it again until that light bulb dies. And you have years upon years upon years of that. So no more getting up on a ladder and putting up Christmas lights for hours, because you don't need to do it, at least indoors, anymore. The last decorating hack that is guaranteed to impress your guests is to simply switch out your entryway mat. Now, this is something so simple, but it sets the tone for the evening or for the event the second someone arrives at your home, right? Because everyone has an entry mat. You need to clean off your feet before you come in the house. And if you don't have one, please get one. But swapping out your entry mat is just a great way to say, hello, welcome to dinner. I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to host you. Let's celebrate and come together as family and as friends. So I love swapping out a mat, and they're really affordable, right? They're $9, $10, $12. You can get one with Christmas trees or one with pumpkins or ones that have like a little landscape or something like that. Just doing something like that really goes a long way for your guests, because it's like, oh, they decorated. It just sets the tone for the event. I know I've said that like 80 million times in this video, but that's very important. And it's such a small little thing you can do that makes a huge impact. I actually switch my mat for every season, and all of my neighbors notice. They're like, oh, it's Christmas, up, it's Thanksgiving, up, it's Easter, up, it's a random day of the week, and Kiva's changing the mat. The one that's out right now, though, because it's not quite holiday season yet, is Wipe Your Paws, because I have a dog, I just like to be jovial, and I think that that's what an entry mat does. Plus, it keeps your home nice and spick and span when you're entertaining, because when you have a lot of people coming over, it's very easy for them to track in a lot of mud. So know, doing this is also going to save you a bunch of time and effort cleaning, because nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to do all of that. I'm telling you, go to your favorite stores. They'll have such a funny mats, and if you don't want funny, they also have really cute and minimal ones that are really fantastic. Okay, you guys, that is it for today's video. Those were decorating hacks that are guaranteed to impress your guests this holiday season. All of these hacks will work for all of the holidays, so no matter what you celebrate, you are ready to impress those guests. Which tip from today's video are you going to apply? Do you know any other tips that we need to know about? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And again, if you want to check out the full episode of Interior Motives, or you want to check out any of the other series on the Wayfair YouTube channel, be sure to hit the link down in my description box. I promise you, you won't regret it. And remember to subscribe to Wayfair. Until next time, have a beautiful day.